G'day friends, today we're going to dive into some of Lightroom's lesser known features. These powerful tools will help you change the way you edit your photos forever and have you wondering why you just hadn't heard of them before. For example, did you know you can add and subtract two brushes using their new AI functions? I'm going to show you how to use this and so much more in this short video. These 7 features will help take your images from raw files to photos like this. Obviously, I'm going to save the best to last, but let's not mess about and get straight into it. Quick edits. Quick edits using photo syncing. This is going to save you loads of time. If you shoot portraits or do big commercial shoots, just listen up. We'll start by editing the first photo in the set. While I'm editing this, you'll probably notice a few other things that I do here that we're going to go in depth in this video. And then we're going to sync that photo to the following shots, making slight adjustments as we go. Basically just copy and paste, copy and paste. So challenge is, I'm going to edit 20 photos in just under a minute. Let's copy and paste to say, actually, let's just go across the whole lot. Sync everything, have everything ticked off, and now we go back and we check through, make sure everything's good. That one looks good, that one's a little warm. Drop that off a little bit, and then I'm gonna copy and paste the next ones. So that the blue tones continue across through there. Copy and paste those blue tones across. This one looks a little underexposed, bring it up a touch. This one looks a little overexposed, bring it down a touch. And we've got this one. Might bring the contrast up a little bit for the product shots. And then let's copy that, and the clarity a little bit. Let's copy that across everything, see how everything looks. That looks good. Good. White's white, black's a black. That's a little dull. Bring the shadows up a touch. Again, shadows up a little bit. No, that looks good. Highlights down a little bit. Exposure down a little bit, and we'll copy and paste that along with the rest of them. Boom, everything looks great. So basically with that one, we're just copying and pasting and tweaking as we go. It's like a preset, but it's more personal and targeted towards the edit you're trying to make. It takes next to no time to blast through a stack of images. Number 2, the HSL Slider, or the color mixer. Here you can adjust the hue, the saturation, and the luminance of the colors in the image, which is super handy. For example, in this photograph of these monks crossing the bridge, I wanted to change the color of the water from that brownish color to a lighter kind of green to really make the colors in the subject pop. To do this easily, we're going to use the tool and change the hue and then the saturation of that water. But if you click on this little icon here, you can select ranges of color and adjust them even more evenly. And while holding this down, we're going to go select a part of the image and bring it down to red or up to green to make that really pop. You've also noticed that just here, it's adjusted the same color on his belt. So I'm going to hit K and just kind of brush out that. And then we're going to go down to point color, hit that one, and change that back to yellow for him. Perfect. Okay, number 3, how to sharpen properly using masking. This one's very important because a lot of the time when sharpening, people will sharpen the whole image. And this not only makes the photo look slightly unrealistic, but it also sharpens the grain in the image, which you just don't want to do. Skies or backgrounds shouldn't be sharp. It detracts from the rest of the image. So what we're going to do is use this masking tool to adjust exactly what we want to sharpen first. We're aiming to have the edges of things you want to sharpen to show up in white, with the black parts of the image not being sharpened at all thanks to the mask. Let's dive in and we'll show you a couple examples now. So I've got this shot of a bear first up, and you'll see in the background we have everything out of focus and we don't want to sharpen that. So I'm going to hold down Alt or Option, and I'm going to mask off a lot of the image. You'll see we're slowly losing everything that should be out of focus, and we've just got the bear's head, and that's what we want to sharpen. So the same with the next image, we've got this really beautiful sky and really distinct edges, and we don't want to sharpen anything else but the edges in this image. So we're going to go down to sharpening again and hold mask, and see right now we'll be sharpening all of that sky. I don't know what that is. There's a thing there. We'll sort that out in the next one, I think. So we're going to mask off pretty much everything out of the sky and then bump the sharpening up. And that will just be affecting the edges and and not sharpening the grain in the sky. I don't know what that is, but conveniently, the next one is the healing brush, which is this little guy. So we're just gonna brush on over that and see if it will heal it properly. Just like that, that's gone. This tool is excellent for just removing little blemishes and imperfections in your photos, or even removing things like one random leaf on the bare photo that would otherwise be perfect. So again, we're just gonna hit the healing brush and reduce it right down to as small as we can, and then we're just gonna paint over that little leaf, and it will AI and fill that spot in as best I can. If, for instance, it doesn't work properly, you can just hit refresh until you get the right effect. You can see the different little bits of fur that it added in, with that one probably being the best. All right, so number 5, cropping and leveling the horizon. So the first thing we're gonna do is level out the horizon using this tool that most people overlook. So basically, we're going to draw a line across the horizon and it will automatically level out the horizon for you. Another little bonus tip, if you hit O, it will change the overlays on the actual cropping tool, which is super handy when you're gonna use things like 5x7 or 4x5. Instagram crop. I usually leave it on rule of thirds just so I have an idea of where those lines intersect, because I use rule of thirds for pretty much everything. So the next one is creating panoramas with a couple simple clicks. You used to have to do this by hand in Photoshop and it was a nightmare, but now you can simply click, select all the images, despite them being different or shot in different sequences. Lightroom will fix it for you, which is wild if you used to have to do it by hand. So we're gonna right click and go photo merge and down to panorama. And it's gonna bring up a dialog box so you can tweak and edit things before you export it. Pretty good job, straight off the bat. So I'm gonna hit merge, and just like that, you've got a panorama with literally 3, maybe 4 clicks. Wild. Brushing. My favorite. If you made it this far, thanks for sticking around, because this is where the money's at. This is my favorite tool Lightroom ever brought in. It is so powerful. Right, so brushing. I'm gonna hit K, change the size of the brush. Now say I want to make this inside area more dramatic, but I don't want to affect the mountains. Let's just brush it all in, kind of willy-nilly, looking pretty good. You can see I'm clipping the mountains here, kind of intentionally. You can go up here, click on that and go subtract. I'm gonna go down to say, subtract objects, because mountains are objects. And we're just gonna kinda loosely brush over the top of the mountain, and the AI is going to select the mountaintops and subtract it from our sky. Then you can just edit and adjust as you see fit. You can do the opposite as well. Let's just do it as well, just for shits. So we're gonna go brush, for example, and we're just gonna brush in this mountain. We're gonna make it pop, stand out a little bit, but again, we don't want to affect the sky. So one click, gonna go select sky with a little removal, boom, and it's going to detect the sky and simply remove it. From there, I can make those mountains stand out just a little bit more. Oh, and that little red thing is my clipping thing. So little bonus tip, another bonus tip, let's go. J turns on clipping of the darks and the lights, so that you can see if you've blown anything out or if you've lost anything in the darks. So let's bring that back down so it's bright, but not blown out. Without those two brushes, you can see the difference there. Anyway, you can tell I like brushing the best, but that little add and subtract feature changed the game for me. It has just opened up so much more time and kind of flow to my editing. Thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully that was helpful, and honestly, if you learned one thing, it's worth it to me. Don't forget to subscribe, because there's going to be plenty more of these tutorials in the office and out in the field. lots more fun to be had this year. But for now, I'll see you guys next week. Peace.